follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome back. We are live, as always, in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. It is an absolutely loaded card tonight in college basketball. And Dalen Cuff is kind enough to join us here an hour before tip-off for a lot of these games, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line, does a great job with the college hoops coverage on ESPN. Dalen, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Fellas, let's go. We're almost done with college football, so we get to really focus on basketball. We're almost there, but this is a big day. A big day. Yeah.
You can taste it, right? So Let's begin with some of these matchups in the SEC. Bama's playing great basketball. They are battle-tested. They played a hell of a schedule. They're not doing it with a three-point shot, by the way. So I think that's kind of easy to assume that they're going to be hitting these, going 15 threes on 30 attempts every game. Not the case, beating really good teams. They get a solid Ole Miss team tonight, but they're laying 12.5 in this spot. What do you make of that number?
Well, I will say this. They may not take as many threes as I'm not saying they're not reliant on the three as much.
Okay.
But you still have to respect it. You still have to guard it. That's still how they're built. So when you have to close out on guys, that's what they want. They want paint touches. They want layups. They want fouls. And then the three is still there. So based on how they play, I'm still top 20 in the nation in terms of three-point attempts versus field goal attempts. So you still have to, you can't ignore that. It's just they're not reliant on it. Also defensively, they're better than they were last year. They're like the team closer to the team 2 years ago when they were the number one overall seed with Brandon Miller, because they got bigs in the interior that can guard. They're better on the perimeter in terms of their defensive capabilities. And I'll say this: Ole Miss is good. I don't think they can hang in this game. I just don't think they can score enough. They're going to want to try to slow it down. They'll throw in that zone at times, and I don't think Alabama's scared of that zone at all. And that is a raucous place to play when they are up against other SEC opponents. We've seen it in recent years. Maybe Alabama's fans have gotten used to being really good on the hardwood and have not made it that tough. I feel like this is a game they'll show up and show out in, and I think Alabama really controls this game. And Ole Miss, I just don't think they can hang with them and score enough points despite trying to slow this thing down.
They can't do that, though? Ole Miss can't control tempo?
They can try. The difference is part of it to do it. The zone is one part. You got to make shots. And that's where I question, does Ole Miss have the ability to put the ball in the basket enough?
Okay.
Then Alabama must take it out of their hoop, and they still will try to push. But on the miss, Alabama's going, and that's what I think they're going to do, is create enough opportunities off the rebound to go out there. And again, defensively, they are better. And Ole Miss, their schedule, especially in the non-league, was not challenging. And they've gone on the road here. They've had a couple decent showings on the road, but again, those opponents weren't particularly good. And when the teams that were good, they got rolled. So I think that's what we're going to look at today.
Kentucky is better at home than they are on the road. They've also played a pretty solid schedule. They're elite offensively. Defense still maybe a little bit shaky. They get a really good Texas A&M team tonight at Rupp Arena. This number's now touching 7. I get it. The Aggies are without Wade in this game again, third straight game. But again, that's again, to me, it's a huge number here for Kentucky.
Yeah, I kind of like A&M here in this spot. It's really about, without Wade Taylor, that is a huge loss. But they have played well without him, and part of the way they've played well, their best offense guys is throwing at the rim at the time. I mean, they're number one in the nation in offensive rebound percentage. I think it's like 44% of their misses. And this is what I wonder about this Kentucky team. They're all grown men. They're adults. These guys are average, 23 years and change with this Kentucky team. Most of the guys are on the floor. Are they tough enough to really? You got to want to have the physical battle with A&M every single time that thing hits the rim. I'm not sure they want that as much. I think A&M can cover here. As we've seen before, Kentucky can be a tough place to play, but Rupp is not the jungle in terms of playing at Auburn. Rupp is not the same type of crowd. It has we know what we're looking at in Rupp Arena. It's tough, but it's not the same to me as some of the other SEC schools that have really relished in recent years at being relevant. So I think A&M can cover this number. They could sneak out a win. I'd be surprised at that. You're going to have to score. I think A&M's going to have to score a lot on their second chances. That's what they're going to say in this game.
Is Mississippi State like Ole Miss, where you lost to Butler? And maybe you just padded your resume on the non-conference. What do you think of Miss State taking on Auburn here in about 7.5?
Well, I think Mississippi State is better. I think they have better guard play. They can make more shots. Just plain and simple. I think they have more options and more guys that can make plays and create for them. I think they have a little bit more of a toughness there too with what they built out of that program. The thing with Auburn, I'm not going to play this game pre-tip. I want to see how they go after the game tips off without Chani Broome. Because there's one thing, I really think Auburn's response to the ending in South Carolina, when Broome went down, they were already down 2. They came out and banged a couple threes right away. These guys, they have 8 seniors, including Broome, that play on that team. And Pettifer, the one freshman, they mixed in some other guys. But by and large, it is very much a senior-led group. And when he went down, they stepped up. And I think they can do that tonight. As I mentioned, playing in the jungle is absolutely brutal. But I'm interested to see when you game plan and play without him, how they're prepared for that. And Mississippi State, what they want to do to counter that. So I'm going to lay off here. My lean would be to lay the 8 with Auburn. But I think Mississippi State's a better team and maybe more equipped to hang in this thing, especially without Broom. But we'll see once they tip it up what we're looking at.
By the way, what did you think of the injury when you first saw it? And then as somebody who, you know a ton about basketball, playing it, watching it, injuries, the whole thing, the report came out like maybe 2 weeks. I mean, when that first happened, I thought, well, he's done for the year, and there goes my future on that team.
No, not that drastic. I think anybody that's played it, this has happened all the time. I think anytime you slow that down and you see that ankle bend, that hurts and that sucks. I mean, I was sitting in studio and we were on since noon, so the 1 o'clock game they kept at 1, so that was off the normal rhythm, if you will. So we were really locked into that game. When we saw him go down right away, and they replayed and zoomed it, I thought, okay, it's twisted ankle. You hope there's no break. Rarely that happens, but you hope there's no break. There's no break. And once that, it's really about where the ankle sprain is. If it's a lower ankle sprain, that is better. And if it's 2 weeks, it seems that's likely. High ankle sprains are more problematic. Usually they linger longer. They're harder to recover from. So we'll see. And obviously he's an elite athlete, but how your body responds and how you kind of keep your wind too. We'll see when he comes back, but hopefully it is just a couple weeks. I think they have a bye week too at the end of the month here. They don't have a midweek game, which helps a little bit in recovery. I thought it was a twisted ankle and your hope is not broke, and that's good.
2 things on this. Another great game in the SEC. Florida, which you like. You can state your case for Florida at home against Missouri. And also your call. Joe Lunardi last week had 13 SEC teams in. Now he's got 11. What about the conundrum for the committee if the SEC is going to get 12 or 13 bids?
Guys, I don't think it's a conundrum. When you watch the games, I mean, it's hard to argue right now. It's like, hey, you're not supposed to look at the conferences. You're supposed to look at the individual team beats and their resume and who they beat. And the problem is, at one point, right around Christmas, they were 86% win percentage against the other Power 4 team, Power 5, because you include the Big East and basketball. That number's down to, I think it was down to like 77 or 78. That's wild, especially some of the better teams having big wins over other teams, the middling teams having wins over other places, other conferences, top teams or expected top teams. It's surprising, and particularly the ACC took some lumps in that regard a lot in terms of some of those teams. Now, this league, the thing that makes the league great and why I'm really okay with them being rewarded and breaking the 2011 record by the Big East, it's the quality of the product, guys. Like they play fast. Mm-hmm. They got athletes. They can make shots. They have shot makers. They are super well coached. Like, we're watching really good games and really good basketball in phenomenal environments. So for you to win on the road in that league makes it even more difficult. So I think the SEC is a gauntlet every single night. I'm enjoying watching it more than we have seen the Big 12 in recent years. Hey, it's the best league. But some of those things, man, I'd rather go down to Publix and watch them unload the truck sometimes when it's 55-52. That's not happening. That's not happening here. We're seeing, some serious guys that can play in a more modern style. So I love it. What I love Florida here too is Missouri is a team that, again, they've got some older guys and they've had some decent performances. Obviously, beating KU was a big deal, but KU is not Florida. I think Florida, I've talked to a couple different shows before the season. That was the one. I don't love future bets to win championships. Florida's the one team I liked. It was about 20-1 in most books around then. You could find it at 25-1 before they blew, after they lost to Kentucky last week, which was crazy to me, given they put up 100 on the road. Mm-hmm. And then now they beat Tennessee. That number comes way down. So you're going to see the Gators, I'm all in on. They got 3 elite guards. They got bigs that can protect the rim, but also can step out and shoot it. They're second or third now in offensive rebounding percentage, and they are much better defensively this year, much better than they were last year. I think Missouri just cannot hang with them in that building. Again, it's come back to, can you score enough? Missouri, particularly in league play, now it's not a huge sample size yet, but you're seeing as they've stepped up in class, their inability to stop teams from making shots, particularly threes. Florida can shoot the ball well. I think the Missouri Tigers, like 3-point percentage against is like 44%, and they're not limiting attempts either. So teams are getting them up, they're making them. And the Gators, again, defensively, I think are going to kind of overwhelm these guys. So I'm okay laying the 11. I may do the half and full games. I think it's 7 and 11. So I may double down with the Gators. I'm all about them.
All right, let's go to the Big Ten here. It's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Dalen Cuff, ESPN, our guest. Illinois laying 3.5 or 4 tonight at Indiana. Ken Pom has Illinois ranked 13th right now. And when you look at the best teams that the Hoosiers have played this year, 4 of them basically like in the top 40. They've gotten spanked in every one of those games. Not close, all blowouts. And did this number just tick up? Is that now up to 5.5 now? Wow. So if that's accurate, money coming in here on Illinois, what do you think here?
Well, it's also, I'm interested too. Is Yakashunas in? I have not looked this.
He's got to be in right now if that's going to be the point spread move there.
I would think, but I don't know. But that dude is really good. But again, they played well one game without him, and then they got worked against USC with turning the ball over. They looked out of sorts. They took bad shots. They didn't defend as well. The thing with the Hoosiers guys is I can't back Indiana. I just can't. They've shown some number 6 now. They've shown some spurts at different times, but they are really built inside out, which is a little bit archaic for what we see in college basketball or in basketball in general. A lot of college teams, even in the Big Ten now, are changing to play way more Illinois plays with the guards and space and pace and ability to defend on the perimeter. I like to say that I would lean Illinois, despite that being on the road. I think 6 now concerns me. When it was 3.5, 4, we saw earlier in the day, I like that. I see the money coming in. I get it. And that means maybe Yakashinas is playing for sure. But I don't love it. But I can't back the Hoosiers. I'm not going to play this game. I think there's enough on the board, but I can't. The Hoosiers, I think, are a team that ultimately are not going to make the tournament, and people are going to be pretty disappointed and may have a couple.
It looks like Malik Renault is out for the game tonight, averaging 14 points per game.
That's important. There you go.
There
You go.
All right. What would your best bet be tonight?
I like St. Louis plus 10, guys. They're playing at VCU, and I like VCU a lot. It's a tough. Siegel Center is a tough place to play, and St. Louis has not had good performances there. But this is a different St. Louis team. Josh Schertz, obviously, his first year coaching from Indiana State. Those guys are rounding into form. They're not fully healthy. They're not deep, but they can shoot it. They play together. They play a difficult style to defend. And VCU, as talented as they are, I think St. Louis can win the game. If I feel they can win the game, give me the 10. So give me the Billikens on the road. I think they may end up being the A10 champion, even over Dayton when this thing's said and done in March.
Very good. Dalen, that was awesome. Good luck tonight. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Later.
Night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
All right, not a lot of drama, but that's okay. We had 6 games to bet on. Phenomenal. Monday Night Football, Rams, Vikings, first touchdown, Williams, 5-1.
Okay, so JVT and I talked about this near the end of the show yesterday. I think you and I brought this up down the stretch, maybe before that primetime game against the 49ers. If you missed the show, here's what I'm going to tell you. Kyren Williams now, after last night, has scored the Rams' first touchdown. Not the first touchdown of the game. Several of them have been, but specifically the Rams' first touchdown of the game 13 out of 17 times now.
Oh, wow.
And he was still 2-1 last night, and I did not bet it. And I had it right in front of me, and I'm talking about it. Unbelievable.
How about Allen? Anytime touchdown, 14-1.
Boy, their tight ends were great last night.
Higbee went to the hospital.
Yeah.
Apparently he's going to play, though, Sunday. Yep. He had 58 yards at halftime. Defensive touchdown, plus 280. Hold on to the ball, Sam. Rams win.
Did you have that one?
Yeah, of course. Bad. Rams win by 15 to 20 points, 18-1. Scoreless quarter again, plus 375. Most receiving yards, Hawkinson, 15-1.
Was that in the game? 15
in the game.
Oh.
Yeah, well, come on. Jefferson, Addison, Puka. Yeah. Super Wild Card Weekend props. Most passing yards, Stroud plus 775. No one threw for 300 yards, and only one game had a guy go for 100 receiving. Most rushing, Henry 3-1. Most receiving, McConkey 14-1. Most points, Texans 28-1.
Oh,
Fewest points, Denver 5-1. Highest scoring game, Texans Chargers, the only game that went over, plus 750. Lowest scoring game, Eagles Packers 6-1. Saturday, Chargers Texans, first touchdown, Collins plus 850. Defensive touchdown plus 280. Missed extra point plus 240. The result of the Texans' first drive, turnover plus 650. Mixon 100 yards 3-1. Touchdown at 100 yards plus 465. Nico touchdown at 100 yards plus 315. Mixon and Collins touchdown plus 375. McConkey to score and have 100 yards plus 475. Most receiving yards in the game was cheap. More. I'll get to Saturday in a second. Texans alt minus 3.5 plus 205. Texans win by 20 points, 16-1.
Yeah.
Mercy. Steelers Ravens first touchdown, Bateman 8-1. Jefferson anytime touchdown 8-1. Henry 2 scores and the Ravens win plus 325. Pickens and Bateman to score plus 675. Scoreless quarter. Vicious. Nothing in the fourth quarter, 3-1. Ravens by 8 to 14 points, 4-1. Broncos Bills first touchdown, Franklin 50-1. Anytime plus 850. Bills by 21, 3-1 or more. Bills by 21.5 alt plus 275. Packers Eagles first touchdown Dotson 65-1. Under 39.5 alt under plus 205. Missed extra point plus 240. Eagles to win between 8 and 14 points plus 480. And the Eagles from 3.5 to 5.5. Commanders Bucks. Will any game have a walk-off winner at the gun? Plus 350. First touchdown Browns 65-1. McLaurin and Evans to both score plus 355. Daniels 2 scores and Washington wins plus 445. Commanders win between 1 and 7 points 3-1. Most passing yards Sunday, Allen plus 350. Most passing yards Saturday, Stroud, same price. Most receiving yards Sunday, Evans 4-1. McConkey Saturday plus 310. The prop over 1.5 missed extra points plus 145 cashes. FA Cup over the weekend, Man U plus 440. Weekend college hoops, USC 7-1, shocked Illinois. LaSalle plus 650, beat the Bonnies. Old Dominion 9-1. Vatech plus 260. New Mexico State plus 250. They won by 30. Monday in the NBA, the Pistons plus 270. Knicks, bad stretch. Raptors plus 175. Friday, the Kings were 5-1 and beat the Celtics on the road. College basketball last night, Rutgers plus 175. Morgan State plus 425. New Orleans 8-1. Hockey, the Ducks plus 415 against Carolina. Tie in regulation plus 450. Subscribe, be part of the team. vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. You want a hippopotamus? Here it is. This is it. You nailed it. This is the bully. This is the kind of dog I want. How good. These guys are a tank. Look at these guys, right? Got me a little banana. Get the water, get the hose in the mouth, and a little nap. Look at them. And the giveaways, the ears. You nailed it. These guys are awesome. I got a ton of videos I sent them with these guys, with the bully. Those are good-looking dogs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's excellent. That's one hippopotamus. How about this guy? To get his workout every day with the door. Look at him. They're outside, and he's trying to get back in, and he is getting a running start. He just, with the front paws, pounding that door, trying to get that thing to open, and it's almost going to bust. And there's some give and take there. I think he's going to be able to get that thing.
First of all, how is that dog built like that? He's got more muscles than I do.
Yes, right.
He's the last person you want to run into at 1 o'clock that's looking for a bar fight.
That's right. He is built. He's an ice cube. And he's just pounding the door, trying to get in about, let me in. And he's going to blow that thing over. Lose some, Chargers under. 44.5 down to 41.5. Overs went 1-5. Super wild card weekend. Bad for the books. T-Wolves from 12 up to 14.5 last night. Fell 14. Bad beat just happened that Mitch mentioned. Man City was 150 against Brentford. 2-0 Man City, 83rd minute draw. Brentford comes back. Man City blows another one. How about that? That would have been a sick price in play. What's going on at Liverpool?
1-1 extra time, like 94th minute.
All right, that's like plus 350 draw. Chargers, Texans under 42. How? 13-6, 30 seconds left, third quarter. Then the egregious pick 6 by Herbert. How does that go over?
That's a bad one.
Ravens, Steelers over. Scoreless fourth quarter. Last night, Rockets 2.5 and under 236.5. Bain hit a 3, down 5 from 30 feet at the buzzer.
Yeah, there's your double whammy.
Double whammy. 120 to 118. Houston. Instead of Houston and under, it comes Memphis and over. Nuts. There it is, win-lose. And that was a draw. Liverpool and Nottingham Forest, plus 350 cashes. And then the draw with the epic comeback by Brentford against Man City with some day soccer. Fun weekend, even though the games didn't work out.
Yeah, and we're never going to go back.
I don't have a problem with it. It's just how it...
Like that happens once in a while, right?
That's right.
Every game can't be Chiefs-Bills from a couple years ago.
Yes. With
13 seconds left. It's all-time good, not going to repeat itself very often. Buccaneers, Commanders saved the day, saved the weekend.
The Eagle game was ugly. Oh,
yeah, that was not a lot of fun. No. I mean, all the injuries on top of the bad play and... Love was bad. The quarterback play overall this weekend. Herbert, all-time stink bomb. Love wasn't good. Hurts looked completely rusty and not ready to go. It just, the quality out there for that weekend was not so hot. But as you said, that many games overall, bets galore the entire time. You tie it into the college games. Von Tobel brought this up yesterday. This is Monday. He's like, when was the Texas-Ohio State game again? That was Friday night, and it said so much happened, we just totally forgot about it.
How about that? That sequence. What are you to cover there with Ohio State? It's 1st and goal from the 1 to 2, and they get the scoop score. Oh.
They're right there with you the entire game.
I had 7.5 in play, 8.5 in play. Couldn't believe it.
Well, what's more improbable, that or the end of the first half?
Yeah, true. Good point.
Crazy.
The dump-off house call. But I can't believe the second down. Shotgun from the 2. Pitch. What are you doing?
All-time bad.
What are you doing?
I hate, I've said this so many times on the show, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse. But the play calling that we have in short yardage situations in college and the NFL, man, it just...
That's why I love the Andrews stuff. And
there
Kraft.
You go.
I love the Andrews push.
Yeah.
Good luck. 4th, and I'm getting 3 yards. I could run that 3 times, and I'm going to get the first down.
This is coming from a guy who I'm doing a rollover parlay on Ohio State to win the national title, and I bet them separately to win the national title, and I'm telling you how mad I was. Forget about the bet for a second.
Yeah.
As a fan, as somebody who appreciates and has been watching this my entire life, how does it not get any better?
What's the early week away? What do you think? I think Ohio State puts it on them. That was more of Ohio State with silly penalty. I think it gets out of control if Henderson doesn't have the personal foul. It's going to be 14-0.
Yeah.
But then they put themselves in 1st and 20 all game.
I saw something today you got to watch out for. The referee crew, evidently, they love calling flags, especially holding calls.
Okay.
So that's unpredictable. Are they going to, last night's game, the Rams were flagged, I think, 10 times, 8, 9, 10 times. Vikings had 2. So, that could be a factor in the game. Notre Dame's defense is awesome. Captain Obvious checking in. Mm-hmm. How does Riley Leonard keep up with that offense?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. If you're the kind of player who wants to drop $10,000 or more on an NFL line at the best price in the market, or if you're looking for instant acceptance on your in-game bets, you need Sport Trade, the app that's revolutionizing sports betting. $4 lines instead of the standard $10. Instant in-game betting, dedicated concierge player service. Sport Trade delivers a premium betting experience like no other. Jersey, Colorado, Iowa, Arizona, and Virginia. Download Sport Trade today. Code VEASAN. Got to be 21. Get that 10% cash back on every wager during your first week. Code VEASAN.
We'll get into coaching changes with odds and predictions up next here on Follow the Money.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Yesterday, offshore books had Kellen Moore as the favorite to become the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. By the way, when the odds were first posted back in November, when the thought was Big Mike McCarthy might not be coming back, Kellen Moore was as high as 33-1. Today, the favorite for the Cowboys job is Deion Sanders.
Talked about it.
He's around plus 150 right now.
What do you think?
I think it would be completely asinine, but I also thought that Deion was going to be a borderline disaster in Colorado, and he proved me wrong this last year. They were good. Mm-hmm. Now, how would it work? Would he go? Shador is just going to go to some other team? Didn't you like the angle of Deion coaching the Raiders when that first came out yesterday?
Uh-huh.
And then maybe that team trying to maneuver for Shador in the draft?
I can't believe how Jerry handled this. Wait. Oh, we're not close on a contract. Okay, you can go. Meanwhile, Vrabel to New England. Other guys already interviewing. Now what do I do? Oh, we'll just run it back. Kellen Moore, the Witten stuff is hilarious. I mean, come on. That'd be just like
I hope that's what they go with.
Yeah, that's a Jeff Saturday stuff. I mean, it'd be worse. It would be worse on the field or in the booth. And then the Deion stuff, if that could happen. So it should be one of the best jobs. And everyone should be up for this job, but that's not the case because of the ego and the only owner who has his press conferences after games. And it's
how about this?
I cannot believe this. No Belichick, no Vrabel again. You never reached out to Peyton when he was available, and you're going to go from the Clapper and then Big Mike, and then No Big Mike, and then why would you let the Bears talk to him? You didn't give him permission, and now Mike leaves, and now what are you going to do?
I doubt he would have taken the job, but last year you could have at least talked to Jim Harbaugh.
Sure.
Right?
Talk to anybody. You're the Cowboys.
And the fact that, again, there is zero game plan here whatsoever
Correct.
with this team.
Yes.
None. They don't know which way they're going. So Bill Belichick was on the open market for a full year, and did you not know that McCarthy was not coming back next year, even though you never gave him the extension and he was a lame duck coach? You never thought to maybe have some feelers out there to Belichick to say, this is not going to happen with McCarthy. He's not coming back. And when that day comes, we want you to consider coming here to Dallas. And they allowed a team like North Carolina from the college ranks to scoop him up. I mean, they're completely lost. They are a rudderless ship with that guy as the owner. And you brought it up today during Do You Concur? Aikman last night. For Troy Aikman, he'll go down as one of the best players in the history, the most important players ever for that for that organization. Not the most, but he won 3 Super Bowls as a quarterback. For him to say the job's not coveted, and he's right.
Uh-huh.
How big of a black eye is that for your organization?
Yep. That was so awesome on the pregame. All these guys are talking about the job. I coveted. I wouldn't say that. That was awesome. Coming over the top on the guys on ESPN.
Wow.
Good job by Aikman. So, I didn't even see Ben Johnson in the running. That's another one. So let's grade Graziano and see how he does, but he's juiced in, connected. And number 1, he's going Kellen Moore to Dallas. Number 2, your big boy, he's going Ben Johnson to the Raiders. He thinks Brady is making inroads here in headway.
That's right.
This would really shake things up.
Well, that would be a stunner to me. Going back to 2 weeks ago, I never thought the Raiders would have been in the mix for Ben Johnson. Why would I? This has to be Mark Davis allowing Tom Brady to do whatever he wants as a minority owner. And for the first time ever, that would be a smart thing, I think, for Mark Davis to do, because the guy is more lost than Jerry Jones. Mm-hmm. So I also would question why would Ben Johnson want this job out here with the Raiders? He must really respect and admire Tom Brady, right? Because if you look, they don't have a quarterback here. Aiden O'Connell, come on, give me a break. They're picking 6th. Who's good this year in the quarterback class, right? So he has worked wonders with this Lions team, and he could have basically had the pick of the litter going back to last year, and he's going to go to the Raiders. That one seems a little far-fetched to me.
I'm surprised he put that one on there. But still, that'd really shake things up. And then this one, he has Chicago getting Flores. Oh, please no. Because you have to go offense there.
You have to.
And it's got to be one of 4 guys. It's got to be Johnson, Kingsbury, McCarthy, or Brady. It cannot be defense again. We just did that. But it's the Bears.
You have to have somebody. It's got to be overwhelmingly offense for the Bears. They have a good team, good roster anyway. They have good skilled players. And Williams looked like he never changed his quarterback style at all from USC. And that's not going to create a winning formula at all in the NFL, in my opinion. I think the guy's really good. But again, we said this 1,000 times during the year. They play with no structure in the offense.
Yeah.
And he said, that's how I like it at USC. That's fine. You're now in the NFL. Time to be a big boy here. That a lot of college stuff doesn't work at the pro level anymore.
You also, I would take Cohn over Flores. And he did a great job with the Buccaneers. Remember, before he got there, they couldn't run the ball.
That's right.
And then what he found with Irving and White this year. And what he got out of Mayfield. And he was a $3 favorite to go to Jacksonville. But now it's Joe Brady now.
Yeah, Brady.
The favorite at Jacksonville, and that's what Graziano has.
I don't hate that one. No, he's not the favorite. 6-1.
Brady isn't the favorite?
Brady is 6-1 to go to Jacksonville. Cohen is -110.
Okay.
I said that a little bit earlier, that Brady would be worth a shot, I think, in my opinion, 6-1. I think Brady to Jacksonville makes some sense. I could see that one. Did you say that he was in your top 4 for the Bears job?
They'd be in number 4.
Brady would be number 4. Yeah, okay.
4,
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But it's got to be offense there. And the Jets, Art Smith.
Well,
who knows what the Jets are going to do?
That's the last guy you want to talk to.
Apparently Rex is out because Rex said he was going to get the job, and then Rex interviewed a while ago, and now Rex doesn't have the job.
How is Arthur Smith a consideration to even be an offensive coordinator in the league? The guy stinks.
Awful at Atlanta. Bad at Pittsburgh. Come on.
That's the guy that you're yearning about?
He should be coaching college somewhere, and then just you get the deal with the dad.
Well,
with all the, what is it, FedEx money, whatever it is.
Yeah. That would be, if the Jets do that, guys, it's going to be Adam Gase all over again.
Good one. I could see that.
That's exactly how it's going to go. But again, in terms of a betting scenario, as bad as some of these coaches are, that means then the consideration for win totals under. I know people who could not wait to bet the Raiders win total under this year, and they thought 6.5 was a gift under. And we saw he got 1 year and he was a total disaster.
Yes.
So in this scenario, like if the Cowboys would totally botch this and hire a guy that obviously would not deserve to have the job, if they put that win total at like 10 again next year, well, I know what I'm going to do. If the Jets go with Arthur Smith, they have no chance to compete next season.
All right. Saints, is it, I'm with you. Saints, is it Glenn or McCarthy?
McCarthy's going to end up somewhere, I would think.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are super high on Aaron Glenn. And I did see that this coach, somebody like in NFL circles today said, they actually tweeted out that it's not going to be a repeat of last year for either guy. Like Glenn and Johnson are both gone this year. They're taking something somewhere else. And that would obviously make some sense, strike on the iron top, but also Ben Johnson shocked the world last year by coming back.
Where's Glenn going if he doesn't get a head coaching job?
Probably stays in Detroit. Why would you move? Right? I mean, I would assume. I'd give. If I'm Detroit, I would break the bank for Ben Johnson. I told you this before. I'd say, here's $10 million a year. Remain our OC. Don't go anywhere as the head coach.
Yeah, right.
I'd be the first team to do that.
Are you surprised Vrabel took the Patriot job?
That quickly? Yes. But there's got to be a connection there, obviously, with Kraft. And that must...
It looked like things were getting a little sideways on Friday, and then he locked it down.
Right. It kind of tells me that that's the spot that he wanted the entire time.
Okay. We're back. The big news, Sirius XM starting this Friday, 24/7 sports betting coverage. Sirius Channel 158 in the Sirius XM app. All the insights, analysis, and picks you need to stay ahead of the game. Mark your calendars this Friday. VSiN debuts, Sirius XM Channel 158, the sports betting network. And coincides also with the Chicago Blackhawks, 11 straight first period overs. Mm-hmm. Turning back the clock. Can't wait. Sal Pal's on Friday. Samich is on Friday. Hardcore NFL. Chiefs win, Lions win. We're guaranteed a great Super Bowl matchup. That's all we need Saturday to start the day. Those two guys get in there, we're set. We're set championship Sunday. We can't get a bad Super Bowl. Well, Chiefs win, Lions win.
How about this idea that JVT had yesterday for a prop? Because the Commanders went for it 6 times, I think, overall Sunday night. They go for it a lot.
Uh-huh.
How many fourth down conversions, how many fourth down attempts combined between the Commanders and Lions in this game?
It's going to be a lot.
That's a really good prop idea.
Yes.
Set the conversions at like 3.5. Attempts, it's going to be like 8.
Yeah. Has to be. See if they can slow down Daniels.
I don't know.
Defense looked great against Minnesota, but then again, it was bad Darnold. So
I mean, this is a rookie quarterback again.
Arnold's good to go. He was at practice.
Played in 3 games this year where the team did not punt.
Yep.
And the Lions' defense was the biggest question mark in football until Week 18. What could go wrong for Detroit Lions futures?
Don't say it.
We'll run down in-pocket plays, our best bets coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right, out sick yesterday. Horrible weekend. Player props couldn't get there, and a funky week with Super Wild Card weekend. No one threw for 300 yards, and only one game had 100-yard receivers, as we talked about. Every team to score 10 points, plus 160 here at Circa. No dice. 2 teams couldn't do it. Denver 7, Minnesota 9. All kind of wrong on Herbert. He'd only throw, first time in NFL history, someone had more interceptions in a game than the whole season. He had 3 the whole year, threw 4.
That's an amazing stat. Wow.
I know. How could you? Oh, one of them was Disley. I'll tell you, that's a different game, though, for two plays. If Disley makes that catch, that's going to be a 1st and goal. They go up probably double digits.
Yeah.
And then the Stroud play. It's 6-0. It's not called intentional grounding, which will have been a safety. And then they fire it over his head. It somehow bounces right up to him. He completes the pass. It leads to points and a touchdown. Somehow. Horrible beat, too, if you had Chargers first half as well. But that's, like Ryan said after the game, flip the game. And then Herbert would not take off and run. It was also right there for him.
Yeah, you're right.
Herbert rushing yards over, loser. Russell Wilson rushing yards over, loser. Baltimore and Pittsburgh, each team a touchdown and a field goal. No good, no field goal. No field goal in the game. Vikings first quarter. Vikings first quarter, second best team in the league this season. Rams second worst. Rams right down the field. Easy winner Friday night with the Thunder, who led by 30 in the second quarter in New York. What a performance. Every team to score a touchdown's a winner. That did get there. Buccaneers first quarter. I'll give them credit. That's another reason why you can sing the praises of Cohen. 13 times this year they scored on their opening drive.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great job.
Yeah.
And they cashed first quarter. Dicker over 1.5. Field goals was a winner. Again, Boswell, nothing. No field goal in the Steeler game push. McManus got me. Longest field goal in the Packer game. McManus missed from 38.
Yep.
His first ever missed in the postseason. McMillan couldn't go over. Nothing from Ertz and nothing from Cooper. Horrible with the props. Mims, loser. All the fake punt, that was it. Bucky Irving couldn't go over. Williams couldn't go over. Largest lead, Washington, Tampa under 14.5. Each team touchdown and a field goal. The Houston Charger game a winner. No octopus in the Philly game. And largest lead under 14.5 a winner in the Philly game as well. Just one thing adding, not more. All teams to make a field goal, 5-1. And all teams a touchdown and a field goal, 11-1. Also no good with some of the creative props they had at places. Taking the Nuggets tonight, laying up to 4 now against Dallas. Messed around in the first quarter. We're down big before rallying to put them away in the fourth quarter. They're playing good ball. I think long term it's a bad move, but short term it's worked out with Westbrook in the starting lineup, and he's been potent from the corner 3. I think Denver gets it done against a short-handed Dallas team tonight.
All right, onward and upward. Puka Nacua over the, trust me, the props for the NFL this weekend. I think I was 0 for. Another loser last night. He had 5. He had 9 targets, but nope, no
what
good.
Happened? Well, none of these props, they're crazy. Not the Henry stuff got there, the Barkley, but Barkley didn't even score the touchdown. He slid down. That's right. That pissed people off. He was $1.90 anytime.
I saw as high as $3.
Oh my God.
So he was probably, Circa offers a no. That's probably like, I'm not even going to say what, because I don't even know what it was here. Right. So, but typically that would have been like plus 250 on a no market, then that would have gotten there. But that game took on a life of its own again last night.
It did.
So once they got up to that huge lead, why would they pass anymore? And
how about that? None of those wide receivers could go over. As we talked about earlier, Hawkinson 15-1 most receiving yards. It was crazy with how these games played out from a prop standpoint.
And a lot of people made the case for Hawkinson because the Rams are really bad at guarding tight ends, and I didn't follow suit. That would have been a nice angle. 2 winners with Jalen Green last night. He was awesome, scored 40+. They won the game. Didn't take as many threes as I thought, but the percentage was awesome. Over 2.5 was a winner, over 3.5. Did a small ladder bet with him last night. Pending, Ravens plus 106 money line against the Bills. Ohio State plus 115 to win the national title. As for tonight, Anthony Simons over 3.5 3-pointers plus 102. You actually might be able to find a little bit higher than that at one book right now. But talked about this a little bit earlier. Kid's been blazing hot, playing awesome offensive basketball. 3-point attempts last 5 games. He's averaging 11. He's also shooting 49.1% in that time, making 5.4 of them. He's making them at like an exceedingly high rate, and he's taking 10, 11, 12 again. Okay, I'm good to go against a bad Nets team. I just need 4. Let's get it done. And this is a prop that I played, kind of an alternate players prop tonight, if you will. Same game parlay on Russell Westbrook. Great numbers last 4 games. I went 10+ points, 5+ rebounds, 5+ assists. That's minus 137 in the game against the Mavericks. Playing a ton of minutes. Got to try to take advantage of this. Well, I'm with you. This is not going to go well in the playoffs, more than likely, unless Joker just plays better than he ever has, because the team's not great overall. But in the meantime, the guy's putting up good numbers, and let's attack it from a betting perspective.
I blew it on the Washington handicap because I thought, okay, well, Lattimore's back, and then Lattimore can take away Evans, and that means a big game for McMillan. And then Tampa plays a lot of zone, so that should open up the middle of the field for Ertz, but that didn't get there. But I forgot Lattimore was going to be rusty.
Well, but also I said this on the show yesterday, and I'm a little bit bitter because I had the same thing. I had McMillan over every which way but loose.
2 catches?
Did it not feel to you that Mayfield was looking at Evans every single drop back?
Yes.
Every time you wanted to go to him, but also...
Not enough. What did Otten do? I didn't see. We only had 2 catches.
I don't think anything,
I saw 1 catch for Otten. It didn't make any sense.
But also, the problem for the Buccaneers was this. The defense could not get it off the field.
Right.
Commanders had the ball for 35 minutes.
I didn't see that one coming. Yeah. Let me get it. What the hell happened?
I will say this while you're looking for it. I want to play Texas A&M tonight.
Yeah?
But 2 things here. It looks like a better number is going to be available before tip in the next 10 minutes. This is it's 7.5 at some spots now.
Okay.
Here at Circa, it's 7, juice is going towards Kentucky.
Ertz had 2 catches. McMillan had 2 catches. Otten had 2 catches. McMillan did go over his long probably. He had a 26-yard catch, though. That's nuts. It's like Baltimore-Pittsburgh. No field goal.
Yeah.
Lutz from 50. That's another one. But how bad would... All right, let me do this first. Getting ready for Big Game 59 with a big deal to match. Save $59 off the VSiN Pro annual subscription when you sign up using promo code FTM. Become a VSiN Pro annual subscriber. Bet smarter all year long with full access. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The betting splits, DK and Circa. The dog videos, the bullies. Don't miss out on this big game deal. VSiN.com/subscribe. Promo code FTM. Save $59 off the VSiN Pro annual subscription today. VSiN.com/subscribe. Did you rip Sean Payton yesterday? What was he doing?
Oh, not as
run on first down, run on second down. Oh, guess what? It's 3rd and 8.
Pretty much gave up on the game.
What were you doing? He comes out, he talks to Tracy at halftime. Important part of this game has been time of possession, got to get off the field, and we got to move the sticks. So you're falling behind, you got a rookie quarterback, and you run first down, you run second down every drive. Mm-hmm. 3rd and short, or 3rd and long, can't get it, punt, back to Buffalo, 8-minute drive. What are you doing?
It happened twice this weekend then. The Vikings punted on the game last night. The Broncos kind of did the same thing. And, oh, by the way, the first touchdown of the game came on that long pass to Franklin.
Right. That's why I thought, they may have a chance here. Nice drive to start, right?
And by the way, you're also, another thing, too, your running backs do nothing. They're not prolific running backs. They don't produce a lot on the ground game. Nick's had a fantastic rookie season, and you have weapons.
Yeah.
So at some point, you're probably going to have to realize... by the way, defense overrated, as we thought.
Yep.
But you're going to have to score touchdowns to beat that guy. And I thought the game plan overall stunk.
Horrendous. Good job with the fake punt. That worked, but it led to nothing. So you were aggressive there, and then you just go conservative in the second half on every drive. And then when school was out, thing was over then. What a play, Allen, on 4th down. Oh, what a play. Johnson stayed in bounds.
It's an 18-point game last night.
Right.
Crazier things have happened. Plenty of time to go. And they're not running up to the ball. They're taking their time in the huddle. They're running the ball a lot. They waved the white flag.
They did.
The Minnesota Vikings waved the white flag last night in a playoff game.
Couldn't believe it. That's why it sucks to be a Vikings fan. Terrible. When you buy in, you think there's hope. Right in your face. Rub your nose in the dog poop. 14-2, playing for the 1 seed. Can't even win a playoff game. And then humiliated on national television.
Yeah.
And now can't bring Darnold back. Can't do that. He was so bad the last 2 games.
Probably not.
No way. McCarthy and a Band-Aid. And O'Connell probably with the Eagle will say, I'll get Danny Dimes. I'll make it work
and
with Danny Dimes.
And Flores will take a head coaching job somewhere probably.
Right. I was disappointed in the defense, too, especially down the stretch. Couldn't stop Detroit.
Right.
Awful last night, too.
All right, primetime is next for the next 4 hours. Von Tobel, Humans, followed by Cashing Out, Joe Sorello. And then VSiN by the books tomorrow, 7 a to 10 a Eastern. Good luck with the bets tonight. We'll see you.